Dark Shadows, number 23, VTR 12567, Air 2167, take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. In one of the bedrooms at Collinwood, there is a woman who has recently become an invalid. Her illness is a cause of concern to all those whose lives she touches.
Well, Doctor?
Be patient, Mr. Collins. I haven't concluded my examination yet.
Oh, it just doesn't make sense. My sister isn't the fainting sort.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Roger, but it seems I've just become the fainting sort.
Well, you'll have to pull yourself together. Who's going to run things around here? I don't want the responsibility.
I feel so ridiculously weak. It's almost impossible to force myself to move. It's nothing serious, is it, Doctor? I can't be sick. Not now.
Suppose you leave the diagnosis to me.
I feel so strange. So very, very tired.
Then rest, Mrs. Stoddard.
Yes.
It's the best thing for you.
Yes. Rest. Rest.
What's wrong with her, Doctor?
Strangest case I've ever been on. And all the things I've ever read about in medical books. In all my years as a doctor. I've never seen anything like this.
Well, what is it?
Let's discuss it outside.
I don't understand it, Doctor. What makes my sister's case so unique?
Well, she seems to be a very ill woman. Is that right?
Well, how ill is very ill? Let's say that it seems that something is wrong with her.
Well, that's just it. There isn't.
Well, what do you mean?
There's nothing physically wrong with her. Organically, she's in perfect shape. Everything I could possibly test here in this house, heart, pulse, eyes, lungs, they all check out fine.
Well?
No, there are other things I can't possibly test here.
Well, what do you suggest?
Well, with your permission, I'd like to move her to a hospital in Boston where they have the necessary equipment to give her a thorough going over.
Well, you not only have my permission, you have my blessing. I think it would be a very good thing for Elizabeth to get out of Collinsport for a while.
Good. And I'll make the necessary arrangements.
There is, however, only one obstacle.
What's that?
You have my permission, but you don't have Liz's.
What?
I sometimes think it would take a stick of dynamite to get her out of this house.
Well, then you'll have to convince her that it's of the utmost importance.
Thank you very much. But how?
Well, that's up to you. Get help from a daughter. Do anything to help. But it must be done, and quickly.
When you found Mother, she was in a faint on the staircase. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
Carolyn, calm down. Let's wait and hear what the doctor has to
But
say.
Mother isn't the sort that passes out.
There is no such thing as the sort that does or doesn't. It may have been a simple case of fatigue.
I just can't figure it out. She's one of the strongest women that ever was. Well, the idea of Mother being ill is... it's simply inconceivable.
If you don't stop this, you're going to be the one who's ill.
Where's the doctor?
He just left.
Well, what does he say?
Well, as far as he can see, there's nothing wrong with her.
What does he suggest?
Well, he wants to do some more tests on her. He will need the facilities of a hospital. He suggests that she be sent to Boston.
I'd like to see anyone who can convince Mother to leave this house.
Yes, well, that's what I was telling him, but he was adamant about it.
What do we do?
Well, we'll have to pull together and convince her, that's all. You, me, and even Vicky.
You know how stubborn she is.
Well, stubborn, yes, but she's no fool. And if all three of us tell her the same thing, she'll realize we're doing it for her own good.
Well, I guess we better get upstairs and see her.
Mrs. Stoddard's going to be very difficult about this.
Vicky, you've always had a flair for understatement.
Uncle Roger, it suddenly occurs to me how convenient all this is for you.
What do you mean?
Laura, the divorce, the custody of David, all that could be accomplished much more easily without Mother around.
My thoughts are only about your mother.
Well, as long as you're being so thoughtful, suppose you be the one to break it to her. And she's going to have to leave Collinwood and go into a hospital.
Come in. What did the doctor say?
Well, as far as he knows, there's nothing wrong with you.
Well,
But he doesn't know enough. He wants to make some more tests.
I'm not preventing him.
Yes, but it's nothing that he can do here. He needs the facilities of a hospital. He wants you to go to Boston.
Oh, that's impossible.
Now, Liz, don't be difficult.
I won't leave this house.
But, dear, the doctor says
The
that...
doctor's a fool. It's just fatigue. I've been working too hard. Worrying too much. A few days rest and I'll be fine.
Well, now, it's impossible for you to have a disease and diagnose it. Why, even surgeons call in other surgeons.
I'm not leaving Collinwood. Where's Carolyn?
She's outside.
I want to speak to her. Please tell her to come in.
All right. Carolyn, your mother would like to see you.
Hello, Mother. How are you?
At the moment, I'm very upset.
Mother, you mustn't get excited.
Well, how can I help but be? Your uncle thinks I must enter a hospital.
The doctor thinks it's for the best.
The doctor doesn't think for me. I think for myself.
In this case, you've got to listen to him.
Carolyn, you're my daughter. They can't do anything without your permission. Are you going to turn against me?
Mother, nobody's against you. We're all for you. We want you to get well.
Will you let them take me out of this house?
Only because of you. To help you.
There's no help for me away from Collinwood. Carolyn, don't let them do this to me.
Mother, you're making it very difficult.
I want to stay here. What could be less difficult?
Please. Please. If you won't do it for yourself, then do it for me. I won't rest easily until I know what's wrong with you.
I see. You've made up your minds without consulting me.
You're in no position to make the decision.
Very well. I can't fight all of you. But if I must go, Carolyn, remember that you, and you alone, are in charge. I don't want any decisions made. Not about David or anything else. until I return.
I'll try to do exactly as you would do.
You can't, can you? How can I expect you to? You're only a child yourself.
Mother, the hospital's only a phone call away.
But how can I be sure anyone will make that call?
Don't you trust me?
I trust you to want to. The thing is, will you be allowed to?
Mother, you make it sound so ominous.
No. I can't leave this house. No matter what, I'll stay.
You can't. We've got to follow the doctor's orders.
We'll see about that. I want to see my lawyer. Get my lawyer.
Mother?
Get my lawyer here.
Mother, please.
Get him.
Carolyn,
Get
come
my
along.
lawyer here. Get him. Get my lawyer. Get him. I won't leave. I won't leave. I won't. Did you get my lawyer?
Oh, now, Liz, you're not going to cut us all off just because we're trying to do the right thing for you.
I'm going to prevent you from sending me to the hospital.
I don't understand this. This is so unlike you. You're always so sensible about things.
I'm being sensible. I want to speak to Vicky.
All right, dear. Anything you say. Come in, Vicky.
Hello, Mrs. Stoddard. How are you feeling?
Sit down, Vicky. I want to talk to Vicky alone.
Very well.
Promise me. You'll do exactly as I tell you.
I'll try.
Then listen carefully. I haven't much strength left.
I'm listening.
My sister-in-law is going to try to take every advantage of my being away from here to see David.
He's her son. She tried to see him whether you were here or not.
The thing is, if I were here, she wouldn't succeed.
You mustn't worry about these things.
If I don't, who will?
You've got to concentrate on getting well again.
I can't. Not with this on my mind. You've got to help me.
I'll do everything in my power.
You'll be doubly responsible for David while I'm away.
I'll take good care of him.
I know that. But you've got to make sure that Laura doesn't see him.
I'll do what I can.
You've got to do it. You've got to keep David away from his mother.
What if his father insists that he see her?
Young. You're too young. I haven't got anybody. There's no one I can trust. They can't take me away from here. Please go, Vicky.
Mrs. Stoddard,
Please. Nobody. Nobody I can trust. Nobody. Nobody. I've got to stay here. Nobody.
Hello, Liz.
What are you doing here?
I've come to pay you a little visit.
Please. I'm not well.
I know.
Why did they let you come up here?
Oh, no one knows I'm here, except you and me.
Please. Go away.
I won't stay long.
What do you want?
Only what's mine. My son.
No.
You can't stand in my way. I told you you couldn't stand in my way.
I can't remember.
Never mind. It's not important.
It is. It is. I must remember.
Don't try. Just rest. You're going to have a nice, long rest.
I'm going to get better.
Of course you will.
I won't let you have David. No matter what happens to me, I won't let you. There's something about you that... I don't know what it is. But I don't know. I know there's something I must remember.
But you can't remember, can you?
Oh, it's so close to remembering. I can almost grasp it.
You might never remember that image that's glimmering in your mind.
I will. I will.
Some things are best forgotten, best left unspoken.
I have to remember. I know it's important.
You must forget.
No. I'll remember.
Memories are very hazy.
Everything seems to be fading.
Memories are elusive, disappearing into the fog. A fog that envelops everything.
What's happening to me? I feel so.
Time is stopping for you. Coming to a halt. No future. No past. Only the nothingness of being in limbo.
Somehow it's not right, Uncle Roger.
Can you suggest an alternative?
No, I simply don't like going against my mother's wishes.
Well, as long as she stays here, she can get neither the rest nor the attention that she requires.
I suppose you're right.
Well, of course I'm right. You saw her just now. Laura. I didn't hear you knock.
The door was open. All this excitement, what's going on?
Why, don't you know? Oh, of course you don't know. Liz has become ill.
Really? What's wrong?
Well, nobody seems to know. They're going to have to take her to Boston for observation.
Oh, that's awful. I'm terribly sorry.
Are you really?
Yes, of course I am. I know how much Liz hates to leave this place.
One would think that her going away would fit in with your plans perfectly.
Well, regardless of my plans, I still feel very sorry for your mother.
How very generous of you. But then you probably think you can afford to be generous now. Well, don't be too sure of that.
She's getting to be more and more like me every day.
Roger, I want you to tell me exactly what happened.
We found Liz at the foot of the stairs. She was unconscious. The doctor can't diagnose her here, and she refuses to leave.
Well, obviously, she has to.
Well, I wouldn't be too sure of Liz having to do anything that she doesn't want to do.
Well, what are you going to do?
Try to get her into a hospital in spite of herself. I must say, this situation doesn't hurt you either. The one thing she was adamant about was that you not get David.
But if you want me to have him...
I'm not going to upset her while she's this way.
But with Liz in the hospital, things would be a lot easier.
If we can get Carolyn to get her to the hospital. You know, Carolyn is her daughter. She will be in charge here.
Yes, but in her condition, she has to go.
Well, with women, one can never tell. Carolyn might keep Liz here just to thwart you.
What has she got against me?
Well, until you came here, her best beau was one Burke Devlin, who seems to have other interests now.
Roger, I've told you I don't want Burke.
Well, you'd better mean it, because I can be pretty nasty myself.
You know the only thing I want is David. And Liz is not going to stop me from getting him.
Well, I'm not so sure that even if Liz is in the hospital, you know, she can be a difficult woman.
How?
Well, as long as she can speak, she can always give orders to her lawyer or to Carolyn.
Yes, well, that might not be a problem.
What was that?
What is it?
His father!
Mrs. Stoddard?
What's the matter?
Mrs. Stoddard!
Liz.
Mother!
Liz, speak to me. Liz!
She can't speak.
When Jerry Lewis gets mistaken for a tough private eye, the action and the laughs come in rapid-fire succession. Don't miss It's Only Money on the ABC Wednesday night movie, tonight right after the Monroes here on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.